What's up, everybody? It's Kenny here with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing pay for deletion. What is it and how you can use it to help you fix your credit? If you don't know who I am, my name is Kenny again. I operate a credit repair company here in Canada where we've helped thousands of Canadians fix and repair their credit. Hopefully, this content provides you with some kind of value. If you've watched any of my videos before and you like what we do, please like the video as it helps it reach to other individuals. And if you aren't already subscribed, please subscribe. So just jumping right into the topic, when it comes to pay for deletion, exactly what this is a negotiation between you and a collection company. Now, the negotiation is you saying you're going to pay off what you owe in full, and in return, that collection account is going to be removed from your credit report. So there's a lot of misconceptions with how pay for deletion works. So I've just given you what pay for deletion is, but there's a time and place on when we should be using it, and there's a time and place when we shouldn't be trying to leverage pay for deletion. Now, there's a big misconception as well that pay for deletion doesn't exist in Canada. Many of you may already know that this is a term or something that's used in the States, but we can also use it here in Canada as well. But again, we want to take a different approach and we want to make sure we use it at the right time so that we're not wasting our time and our money. Now, I often get asked, hey, can I use pay for deletion for a charge-off account? And the answer for that is no. So pay for deletion typically isn't reserved for charge-off accounts or any other type of accounts. It's solely reserved for collection accounts. So this is if you have a third-party collection company reporting onto your credit report, affecting your credit, and you're trying to move forward with getting that collection account removed off of your credit report. Now, another question that I often get asked is, hey, can I go ahead and just offer pay for deletion right out and get it removed? While you can do this, this is not the most optimal thing for you to do. Okay. So the reason why is because you haven't even validated if that debt is actually yours or not. Now, you may recognize the original creditor, but you may not know if that collection company actually owns the debt. So just to give you a quick briefing on how the process cycle works, is that let's just say we had a debt with Bill, and for whatever reason we went delinquent with that Bill account. Bill then closed the account, wrote it off as a tax write-off. Okay, now that becomes a public record, meaning that any other collection company can get access to this information and start contacting me and say that I need to pay them for that Bill debt. But the problem with this is that I don't know if I should be working with X collection company because again, I never really knew who they were. I knew who Bell is, right? So this is kind of where a lot of the confusion stems from. You'll hear a lot online saying, hey, you never have to pay collection companies, you don't have to work with them, all of these different things, but that's not true. In some situations, you probably will have to work with collection companies. There are ways that collection companies do properly own the debt. So one of those ways is if Bell were to actually sell the debt over to, let's just say, X collection company. They sell that debt over to X collection company. X collection company now has ownership of that debt and they can come back and collect onto you. Now, if you're asking yourself, why would X collection company do this? Why would Bell do this? One, they have already been unsuccessful in you paying them their money. So they're not going to waste their time, money, and resources trying to continue to pursue you unless they see that it's more reasonable to seek litigation against you. Okay? So if they see that litigation is an option, continuing to contact you is an option, and just them sitting on the debt isn't an option, they may as well just go ahead and sell this over to a collection company. Now, you may ask, how is X collection company in on this deal? They're purchasing this debt for pennies on the dollar. And I hate to say pennies on the dollar because it's such a common phrase, but they're purchasing it for such a lower rate than what it originally was. So let's just say, for example, the debt was $1,000. Let's say I had a bill debt for $1,000. That X collection company could come and purchase that debt for $100, right? And they can come to me and say, hey, Kenny, you owe $1,000, which if I actually had a bill collection account and I recognize it and they actually have ownership, they can collect on that full $1,000. They are now making a $900 profit on that debt once I go through the process of paying them back off. So this is the business that they are in. And Don't don't be confused. Collection companies can get very large. When I say large, I'm talking about traded on the public stock market, like large. Like, collection companies can be multi-million dollar companies. They can get pretty big. So don't think that when you're communicating with these companies, you're talking to just this one individual behind a cube, right? No, you're dealing with large companies. And a lot of them, they operate in Canada, they operate in the US, they operate in other countries that also kind of have a same structure around credit. So again, you're working with big companies, but they kind of all have a similar structure. Okay, so back to my point, they are in it for profit. They're not here to help you. They're not in here to make your life better or your life easier, right? So there's a lot of things that you need to understand, because a lot of them, when they contact you, they'll try to take this angle of, hey, we're just here to help you fix your credit, or you need to take care of this debt. And some of them will take the angle of, hey, if you don't pay this debt, we're gonna sue you. Which some people say they can't do that. No, if they properly own the debt, and they can take legal action against you, right? Especially if they have the proper documentation. So you need to be extremely careful. A lot of people just want to jump straight into paper deletion. And if you just jump straight into paper deletion without negotiating, or without getting proof of debt from the collection company, they can just straight up tell you, no, there's no reason. We want to make sure this account is reporting as accurately as possible, right? So this is why you want to go ahead and make sure that that you get proof of debt first. Now, again, I say this in every single video. Proof of debt is the original signed contract that you sign with the original creditor. Now, that can also be, let's say you did an application online. Okay, if you didn't physically sign the contract, they'll use the initials that you input, your digital signature. They'll use your IP address that you read when you filled out the application, the timestamp. They can track it back to you. Okay, if this is really your debt and you actually own, they can track it back to you. So you want to ensure that they actually own the debt by getting proof of debt first. Once you get proof of debt, if you get proof of debt, because again, it's not always the case that they actually have proof of debt, because again, this is public information, meaning that any company can get this information and say, hey, we're going to pursue Kenny for this bail debt. Okay, so um, make sure they actually have ownership of the debt. Once you are able to verify that they either A, have ownership of the debt, or don't, then you can proceed with the next step. So if they actually have ownership of the debt and you know it's your debt, then that's when you want to negotiate pay for deletion. Now, here's where more questions come. People say, well, can I try to negotiate a discount? If a collection comes to you and says, hey, we'll let you pay 50% of the debt that you owe, or maybe even 70% of the debt that you owe, understand that they're still making a profit. Like, so they can just throw numbers out because they have full control over the debt. They don't care. They're making a profit. That's why you think you're getting a deal. And then a lot of times when they're doing that 50% or 70% that you have to pay, really it's just a settlement deal. So what is a settlement deal? You take a settlement, you settle out on the debt, and that the debt is still on your credit report. Furthermore, it's going to be there for the next 6 to 7 years. Okay, so we don't want to take a settlement deal. That's why anytime you get a letter or anything from a collection company, and hopefully you're only communicating either email or letter, you're actually reading through this, right? Um, Make sure when you're doing paper deletion, it actually says, once you pay X amount, we're going to be deleting this account from your credit report. And you want that in writing with that company's letterhead on it, right? So keep all of this in mind. All right. Now, once you're able to verify, do pay for deletion, you're most likely not going to get a discount. Be prepared to pay the full amount what you owe. Now, you may be upset about this, but this is the game. Let me remind you, okay? You signed off for this debt. You didn't make the payments on the debt, and this company was forced to make your account delinquent and then sell it to a collection company. So you put yourself in this situation. Let's just be honest. So to have expectations less than you possibly having to pay the full debt back is kind of insane if you think about it. So be prepared to, if they actually own the debt, be prepared to offer pay for deletion. You're actually pretty lucky that they're willing to do pay for deletion. And in order for you, in exchange for you to pay the full amount, they're going to remove it from your credit report, because they could just as easily say no. they reserve the right to tell you, no, we're not going to do pay for deletion. We're just going to charge you what you owe in full because we know we have everything to sue you if we wanted to, first of all. They have everything they want to sue you, first of all. And then secondly, we would just update it on your credit report as a $0 balance, but we're not going to do pay for deletion. So you should be grateful when a collection company actually owns a debt and offers you pay for deletion for a debt you know that you owe and they know that you owe, and they actually have proper ownership of it. Move forward, pay for deletion, just pay what you owe off in full. And then that way, once you pay it off and you have that agreement in writing, they'll remove it off of your credit report. Now, in the event that let's say 30 business days go by and the collection account is removed off of your credit report, you have that document in writing with the company's letterhead saying that they're going to remove it off of your credit report. You can simply send this over to the credit bureaus. They'll update it, have it removed off of your credit report, or you can just simply follow up with the collection company and say, hey, you guys said that this was going to be removed. Can you please go ahead and have it removed? Please give me an update within the next few days. Give them a few days to give you an update because it does take time, right? But in most situations, pay for deletion is very successful. It works out for both parties, and the reason why is because you're paying off the debt that you owe. They're getting the money that they're owed, and you're getting that collection account removed off of your credit report. Now, if a collection company tells you they don't do pay for deletion, okay, again, if you get this, it's because you probably haven't even verified the debt. A collection company that actually owns the debt and they just want to make the profit and make the sale, they are more than happy to do pay for deletion. They are very happy. Okay. So, because again, they're in it for profit. It's a business. So, if you verify the debt, do pay for deletion. If you haven't verified the debt, please do so. Okay. And for bonus points, you could be doing this whole process and at the same time disputing directly with Equifax and TransUnion, because what we've just discussed today is you doing your own investigation. You just investigated if this collection company actually owns the debt. And guess what? When you dispute with Equifax and TransUnion, they're doing the same thing. Their investigation is, does this collection company actually own the debt? Okay, because again, they very well understand that it's so easy for collection companies to get access to this information. All you're doing is just protecting yourself and making sure that this collection company that is contacting you actually owns the debt so that you're not paying somebody that you don't owe. I've seen so many horror stories, been through so many horror stories of client pays collection company, they do pay for deletion, they get the account removed from their credit report, but they didn't verify the debt. And then let's just say a few months down the line, another collection account reports the debt to their credit report because they didn't verify the debt in the first place. So all of these things can be avoided if you take the proper steps, you take the right steps, right? So be extremely wise in this process. It can be very tricky. Now, I understand that this is a lot of information. It can be intimidating. You may be in the middle process right now where you're communicating with a collection company trying to dispute and you feel like you're not getting anywhere. Well, I just want to say it's a long process. It's a long process and it's not easy. And it could be overwhelming for the everyday person that works a 9 to 5, or maybe you even have your own business and you're busy running your own team. And you don't have the time to be dealing with collection companies, communicating back and forth with them. You don't have the time to be disputing with the credit bureaus. Then that's where you may want to seek out professional help, hire a reputable credit repair company, such as ourselves, shameless plug. You can email us if you actually need the help, info@kennyjohnsonuniversity.com. Again, we've helped thousands of Canadians fix their credit. You can email us, give us a brief detail about your situation, what's been going on, and then you can get on a call with one of our professionals, our credit specialists, and we can discuss what we can do to help you out. If you find this video valuable and helpful, again, please like the video. Please subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. And until next time, peace.